Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. I've got a great game for you today. I realise it's been a while since I made some content. That's partly because, unlike in winter when I hide in my room like a gremlin and make memes for you, it is summer and I do try to get out in the real world a little bit more. This actually has the same kind of effect on my BMI as the moon has on the sea, but enough about that. Get yourself a nice cup of tea, possibly a biscuit to dunk in it because, you know, Team GB and all that at the Olympics, and sit yourself down for a great game here. We've got a 5v5. It's high rated. Average rating is kind of like 1800, 1900-ish, question mark. And we're going to be on a Mapgen, a land Mapgen. There's not a lot of... Let me just put the reclaim on so you can see it exactly. But there's only going to be 20k reclaim here. Not a lot. In the chat, you can see that the people are in voice comms by the looks of things. We'll go around and introduce our players, but since currently in FAF there is an issue where all the players are being very rebellious and renaming each other to their friends repeatedly to skirt some rules that were put around renaming yourself all the time, which is incredibly frustrating. But since they do seem to have the attention span of children, we will just have to introduce them as they're named. So up here in kind of a corn red, we've got Red Rhizomosis, he's playing Red Cybran. We've got Hermoz in a blood red down here. We've got the Wheelie, who's not actually the Wheelie, because the Wheelie's rating is quite a bit higher than this. He's in purple, playing Seraphim. Down here we've got Little Sid, who's a dedicated Gap hero, only plays for people he knows, so that's probably furthers the voice comms. And in green we've got lowest rated player in the game, it's Zero. He's charging forwards like an absolute monster. What a Chad. I hope he wins, because he's the lowest rated player. There we go. On Team 2. First off, in Aeon, we've got Control K. He's working on P-Gens with all of his engineers, going for a energy-heavy build. He's going to throw down an air factory here, which probably means he's going for some sort of transport rush. You can go air factory first, but land factory into air factory transport rush is quite effective. I suspect that's what he's up to. We've got Chicken Nugget. He's in KFC orange here. He's going to be breadcrumb brown. No, it's breadcrumb brown. It's definitely an orange. He's at the front. He's also playing Aeon. We've got Aranai, who's he plays loads of games. He's always on in the European time zone playing games. We've got SNF Insidious Noob in an Insidious purple. Look at that. Cheeky Cybran. So many Cybrans in today's game. Only one God tier UEF. And last but not least, at the back we have Trith, playing also in Cybran. I don't know, he took a walk to look at the cliffs, maybe, just to inspect the geography. No, he made a land factory. Of course he did. Distance build up the cliff, pick up these two mexes. Very efficient. So let's take a look at what's going on our map. Well, our transport rush is out. We're going to do a half drop at these three mexes. And then we're going up here. This is very greedy. Is there going to be anything to challenge this? Well, there's a transport drop here from Red Rhizomosis and some bombers queued up. So we've got bombers queued, but those bombers are coming down here to harass Insidious Noob rather than denying the expansion. So we'll see if that gets scouted. In the middle, it's Hermoz up on with another distance build. I suspect he used his ACU for that, using the slightly larger distance build. He's going to be spamming out these hunters, little wiggly boys, taking over the plateau. He only gets 2 mexes for that, which is not really a lot, but the map control it can give him is worth a lot more. So we'll have a look quickly up here. So this wasn't spotted, this drop, until the engineers maybe have moved, question mark. But this bomber, here we go. This is going for the energy. He's got 2 kills already. That one gets nicely dodged, to be fair. That was a nice dodge. Nice split there by Insidious Noob. Clearly not a noob. And the bomber is going to get picked up by an interceptor, but not finished. It gets finished off by these. So not very successful. Another one comes in and that does take out. That's a great bomb there. 4 P-Gens. Is that going to cripple his power? No, not really. He seems to be getting just enough power to keep you afloat. So that's not really going to cripple him too much. Still pays for the bomber though, so worth it. What it will do though is put the wheelie here. He's not really the wheelie, but it will put him behind on air. He's producing a lot of Tech 1 air. Trith at the back here has not actually even started his... I just said he hadn't started it and he starts it. Either I'm such a genius that I know exactly when they're going to do things, or they somehow break the fabric of space and time to do the opposite of what I say. I never quite know the answer to that. More bombers getting rallied in, but they're just getting shot down by Chicken Nugget. He's going to be defending, and this is getting kind of expensive. There's still no Tech 2 air at all. We're at 5 minutes, so guns are coming out, and still no attempt to make Tech 2 air. Trith starts T2 air. It's not queued up here. We'll see when that starts, because that will define probably who has the early advantage. Now, Hermos has finished his gun first. Smart. Gun at 6 minutes, always good in these team games. He's going to possibly do an advance, but he's going to be going against 2 ACUs, so... Trith came up here to help his teammate, so this is a 2v1 up here. That's pretty good for their team. This is also a 2v1, which is pretty good for their team. But down here, they are 1v2. Not so good for Team 2. Especially since this is going to be gun versus no gun. And he already got bombed. And he's getting raided. So poor Insidious Noob. He should be saying 2v1, 2v1, 3v1 in chat. He's getting ganged up on. I suspect that this three-way is not consensual. And this is definitely not consensual. He's getting bullied by all these Mantis. He's focusing the Mantis, but if he's not careful, he can just die without getting anywhere. Now, Hermos managed to shoo away Chicken Nugget here, but he's lost his whole army by the looks of things. I don't see where his army went. I suspect this is it right here. That's a lot of Cybran units, so... Yeah, his whole army died here, possibly just shielding him. And Insidious Noob might be just dying straight up. We'll keep an eye on this. But it looks like he might have just... Why are all of these on unit priority? They just need to be focusing the ACU to stand a chance. He's trying to escape here. 400, 300. PD goes up. He can get away. No! What kind of a move command is that? Oh, no. Are you kidding me? Oh no! Is this game not full share? Why were you playing so risky? Oh, that's doomed. This whole thing is cursed. So, Insidious Noob gets bombed, he gets pushed, and he gets 2v1 commed, and his move orders then also kind of bugged, and he started going backwards when he had a decent move command out of the way. And he toxically deletes his whole base, which puts his team behind in mass. And that is crippling. On top of that, Hermos is going to get away here. So this 2v1 achieved absolutely nothing. They really needed to do damage with this. The wheelie's going to bring the fake wheelie. The purpley is going to get his gun as well here. So that's going to hold. I don't think they're going to be able to push. They just don't have enough units. Probably because Chicken Nugget committed so much to air to prevent those Tech 1 bombers that he has very few land units on the ground. And also, compared to his mirror, well, he's actually ahead in mass, so that's wrong. He's actually ahead in mass. It just looks like he doesn't have as many T2 mexes in his base, but he actually has more up here. Lots of Tech 1 bombers, so Sid really committing to this Tech 1 bomber spam play. He actually went T2 land, so he is making no attempt to go to T3 air at all. He's just going to spam Tech 1 bombers. And now he has an open door, right? He's got an open door. Team 1 are piling on the pressure here. Absolutely piling on the pressure. This army of Mantis is going to absolutely rinse this Aurora Ball, even if it's microed. They control the middle plateau. It looks like the wheelie's going to push in here before these PDs are completed. That's going to do a bunch of hurt, especially if he kills this. It's going to delete both the armies, which they need to keep up. So Aranai could have killed the wheelie here, but he instead decides, like a coward, to take the easy way out. Throw yourself in next time and rid us of your cowardly Control Ks. So another 2 players down. We've got Tech 1 bombers all over the place. In here we've got raiding tanks coming in. Piling on the pressure. Absolutely piling on the pressure all over the map. We are down to a 2v5 now. At 10 minutes, that is never a place you want to be. Now it is the highest rated player left, to be fair. So it's still doable, but they are down. They're down 20% in mass, give or take. Not great. They're also missing a whole base, which is going to give Sid just space to expand, build, control this. This is going to be really bad, this corner, long term. Now, Control K has managed to get a nice raid in here, but he's not microing it. They are not microing it. Let's be inclusive. After all, this player is Aeon. So we don't really know how they identify, to be honest.
I'm transgender, non-binary, gender conforming, gender fluid, just to name a few. As you all know, the trans movement is the fastest growing movement out there, so I figured, why not get involved in the ground level and use it to my advantage?
That attack not microed. This one also kind of laying around here. I mean, he has got his base, and then he's got this fight he's trying to deal with, but okay, he's giving them orders. It's just leaving your units to sit still like that is really painful, especially when you build fast units that are designed to get around stuff. Now, this is smart. Triff's gone for some gunships. That's good. Sid still committing to the Tech 1 bomber spam. This is admirable from the UEF, I would say. Committing to the war crime enthusiasm. And the Purpley is actually in a transport with his damaged ACU. Is he going to use this to kill off the tanks? That's quite effective. Eco advantage shrinking, I would say, actually. But this attack is going to get cleaned up. And this push from Zero can do a lot of damage. We'll take a look at Zero's push, but up top we've got a more important push. Control K here is he's possibly going to get a bunch of damage here with his assault tanks, but in comes the wheelie with his purple ACU. And Control K is out alone here. Both ACUs are going to focus him, and he Control Ks too. There is no way he took enough damage to die. But those Tech 1 bombers probably would have sealed the deal. So four ACUs. I don't know what button I actually pressed there to put the scoreboard out of team mode. I think I pressed something to make it eco. I put it in eco mode, but it doesn't matter because one player's got all the eco now anyway. Whew. Thanks, FAF scoreboard, saving me. So now it is a 5v1. The eco is still in Team 1's favour, and that's going to snowball out of control once these mexes start being upgraded. Trith still, he's the only player left, to be honest. He's still losing stuff all over the place. These Tech 1 bombers have been a real pain in the arse, to be quite honest. If you are losing a game like this, you know, try and take an enemy player with you, for goodness sake. At least Control K on the transport. Whatever you do, don't be a piece of garbage and Control K your own base. Because if you Control K your own base and put your team further behind, not only you definitely get banned from FAF for doing it because it's against the rules. It's against the rules, that's illegal. But if I see you do it, there is a 300% chance of me memeing on you in the replay. There's no reason for it. It's just a game. Why do you have to be mad? Let your team play on with your base. So what can Trith do here with this absolutely cursed disaster of a game? Let's be real. He's got stuff moving into his base all over the place. But the fact that he hasn't quit yet, and he is British, can only really mean one thing.
We shall fight in the fields, we shall not flag or fail. We shall go on to the end. We shall never surrender.
MMLs all over the place in the middle. That's going to be awkward. He potentially has got a gun AC that could push him. I really think that Red should be YOLOing his ACU. Team 1 needs to pile on the pressure here. There's a big ASF fight in the middle. Why is that happening? Well, that's because the wheelie is using this as a distraction to sneak his ACU in, and Trith is right here. Trith is right here. He doesn't have T3 engineering though. That is very, very sad. If he had managed to land with T3 engineering, this game could have been over. But he doesn't. Trith's losing more mexes to these pillars here. They've all got 1,000 mass killed each. It's kind of hard to see what Trith can do here, but what he doesn't have in map control and APM, he does have in centralized economy. He's got T3 air, he's got T3 land, he's not building PD, so he's gearing up to be offensive, and that's probably a good plan. He's got a couple of gunships out here. He's making harbs. That's also really smart because harbs hard counter everything on the field right now on land. Everything on the field gets demolished by harbs. This gunship's going to start attacking the ACU, but first off, the ACU's got nano, so that's going to take a long ass time to kill him. And secondly, he's just lost air control despite this SAM. So this SAM is going to get value here, but I don't think it's going to be enough. On the top, he's got some harbs, but there's too many defenses and supporting units. That's not going to break through. He's got plenty of harbs in this area. What has he got in this area? He has 13 harbs. That is dangerous. Remember, harbs, they got a lot of health. They got a lot of damage. They're fast. Anything that's Tech 2, Tech 1 gets absolutely demolished by them. Especially if you're Zero here. He's getting bumped by his own tanks. He needs to run and overcharge. Does he even have the E for overcharge? He does. No. Busted. The anime sounds mod is still on. He stops moving. No, Zero. That's terrible. That's so bad. What that did was kill only their own team's units because they were Tech 1 and Tech 2. It did not kill any of the harbs, which means Hermos is going to get surrounded and absolutely punished. Oh no, that was disastrous. That did not go well. His explosion kills 6 harbs here. That's actually a crazy explosion value for an ACU. 6 harbs. It's now a 1v3, so Trith's starting to even the odds. Up at the top, he's also focusing down Red. Red, do you even have overcharge, buddy? He does have it. He just fired it, but it's just not going to be enough. Those harbs tore him to pieces. Trith taking down 3 Russian players there in about 30 seconds.
What are you still doing here, old man?
I'm gonna fuck you up.
Yo, I got it.
Yes, Harbs do beat the ACU. Drift says 2v1, let's go. It is a 2v1 for the win here. We got a TML. This is a great example of how to pile on pressure. Give your opponent more to do than they can possibly fix. Bit of Sam creep here. That's going to potentially negate some of the control over this area. That temporary push that... I mean, that's brilliant. Sid managed... It's not Sid, sorry. Trith has managed to kill 3 players with those Harbs. That is fantastic in that time, but the 2 highest rated players are left, and they're going to stabilize with Percival's down here, Percival's shields, and at the top, bricks. Sid has these bricks. He has this base too. Sid has not zoomed out of his SimCity base game for quite some time. I suspect that he's been given that base by the wheelie, but with no notification and no chat, he just hasn't realized yet. Yeah, he's left all of these bases idle because he got them. He just didn't see. He's playing like this, I think. But also his ACU's idle, so he must be just doing the engineers. Okay, he sees it. We got some more orders, but this run by is going to do damage. No way around that. Down here, that is a flapjack with nearly 3,000 mass killed. That is something you don't see every day. That army getting value. Oh, there's a drop with Harbs here. Ah, that's so lucky. So lucky that Wheelie managed to see that. Another 2 Harb drops go down. Oh, he was paying attention there. Considering how little he sees of this, I don't know if he just got lucky with that. I think the 8 Harbs may well have taken him down there. It would have been close though. Given that this is a gun nano com with plenty of power in the bank. Remember, he's got T3P gens. Does he have overcharge? Yeah, plenty. And, excuse me, what? 40,000 mass in the bank? Oh my goodness me. This is not a beginner game. What is going on there? He hasn't even got all the bases. He's got 1 base. This attack, absolutely brutal here. Triff's Harbs just crushing a critical point in the game. Before the Brick and Percival build up, they are just absolutely unmatched. He doesn't have any air with them, but if the T3 bombers miss, then he doesn't need it. You don't need to shoot the enemy down if you can just dodge their bullets, I guess. Percival's moving in here. Let's split so you can get a good view of these. The Harb's moving in here. So this one's going to peter out. I don't think the Percival's to get it. But all of the P-gens are going to go down here. And potentially the T3 Air HQ. That could be huge. That could be huge. Another run by here. That's going to get picked off by some Harbs that weren't even really looking for it. Bunch of transports here. What is this? It's the rare enemy transport location. You just rally all your transports into your enemy's half of the map. And what is this, brother? What is that? Oh. And what is this? Look at all these look at these scouts. Trith has excellent scouting information over the enemy base. Except he's stalling 6,000 E, brother. Why? Did he lose his T3P gen or something? Yes, he did. He lost it to the T3 Percy raid that we saw a minute ago there. So how are things shaping up? Well, the wheelie is going to evac his ACU. Trith is going to hide in the pond. Sid is still absolutely naked and in exactly the same place he started. He doesn't want to move his comm. So we're going to probably see a fairly standard macro game play out, question mark. This TML launcher, well, that's getting value. Looks like it's going to die to the gunship. Or even better, let's put the map back on for you. the a harp drop here again, and they get away with that. So that's going to clear up this plateau. So this is going to go to Trith. All these strat bombers still getting taken down. Trith put up a few artilleries in his base and SAMs, so they will deal with stuff on here. Zerg rush by Aeon. Yeah, well, he's not really Zerg rushing because it's 22 minutes, but Harbs are very effective if you ram a whole bunch of them into somebody's unprotected base. He doesn't have any anti-air with them, so a strat bomber here would be crippling. But in this amount of numbers, no, not the strat bomber. It didn't drop. They do a heck ton of damage, basically. And especially if the bricks are drip fed in like this, the halves will eat them alive. Absolutely eat them alive. That's a lot of DPS. We got a bunch of different harp balls going around the map doing different things. We got one here that's feasting on these mexes. We got one here that's moving in, but with shields this time. That's even better. This one is going to eat... Sid is spamming Tech 1 arties. So this is going to clean up these. We've got another group going down here. So Trith basically microing 4 armies at the moment. 4 balls of units. And he's just moved in here. He's found the Wheelie's ACU. Looks like his harbs are on Mech's priority, and that is going to help because he is down more than 2 to 1 in eco. Whilst he's been spending his mass on units, Team 2 has been spending their mass... What? That must be Reclaim. On economy. So he's a long way behind in eco now. I don't know why he would be building torp bombers. That is useless. I have no idea why he would do that. What he has spent his money on, though, with these Aeon engineers, is a big stompy boy in a fursuit. Look at those paws it's got. Let's go. So a big stompy GC is out. These bricks are going to bounce off the harp wall at the front here, so that's going to hold. Another push in here could do real damage. And the strats... Well, the strats get, it seemed, I saw a bunch of strats getting taken down. And even though the eco is miles away, it feels like Trith is clawing his way back into this game. Imagine if his allies hadn't have just control K'd their bases, he would be on parity almost, I think. This has been an absolute thorn in his side for 20 minutes, it feels like, since that collapsed. This is a smart move. Did you see that? The Wheelie dropped his ACU in front of the Harbs to take the damage so he didn't lose the mechs. He didn't lose his allies' mechs. Man, the teamwork. The teamwork! Likewise, building these is not actually even a bad move. Like, they will trade fairly well with T3 units if the T3 units aren't microed. And because Trith is 2v1, he doesn't have a lot of spare APM to do that. So this is actually not a dumb, stupid gap player move. It's actually quite smart, if you think about it. This is going to hurt, though. More Harbs moving in. There's a Monkey Lord here under construction. And I suspect these Harbs will kill that off real quick. All the T3 engineers go down, so Sid is the only one with a lot of build power. A lot of mass coming in. Sorry, he's lost a lot of it to the Harb raids, but he's the one with the eco, and he's losing all of his build power, which means he ain't going to be able to spend that very tasty mass that he has. The Wheelie is evacuating his ACU back to his base. Ah, that strat didn't drop either. Sid not getting very lucky with the strats, but they are unmicroed. Remember, they are unmicroed strats. Not sure I really agree with the GC, because everything on the table that is being built to deal with the Harbs could also deal with the GC. This is a much better mass spend, right? A tech switch into gunships, because he has absolute air dominance. This is all the air power that Team 1 has on the field. So this is actually more dangerous long term, I think. The GC gets spotted, They don't actually have an Omni. Does Trith have an Omni? Trith doesn't have an Omni either. Hey, I mean, you know, 2K afraid to players. They don't need Omnis. No, what a bomb! Oh, that's such value. Let's go. The ambassador there. Not opting to punch in the front. I don't like that. I feel like he should actually just move these in with the GC. Oh, it's going to kill so many. I didn't quite get to see how much it did, but that killed so many Harbs. Trith clawing his way back in. We've got defensive Percival drops, is that? No, offensive. They're all coming down here. So the GC is moving in. That's going to deal with all of the PD that's over here. What else have we got? Well, we've got a kind of scrappy fight over here. Looks like the... Actually, I think this goes to the bricks. Despite the shields, there's just too many bricks. There's an absolute ton of Tech 1 PD here. Keep an eye on this GC. It seems to be a little bit idle. Trith, just give it an attack command through here. Let it do its work. But we've got another comm drop. We've had one comm drop, yes. But what about second comm drop? This is going to be coming in potentially with the Percys. That is very interesting, seeing as Trith is in a pond right now. Have they seen him? Comm. Even I can speak enough Russian to know what that means is coming. This is going to be a snipe attempt. We will split to see this because up here we've got the gunships and the GC, but down here this is an attempt at a checkmate, I think. This is a... Did he do T3 engineer? T3 engineering for torpedoes and maybe the Percys. Percys don't have torps, but, you know, they can do other things. Ravager's going to probably delete this GC. Has Trith seen the danger? Not yet, I don't think. There's no action from him. The gunships, well, the gunships are wiping out the airbase. This game is going to swing massively in Trith's favor. If only he can survive this. He has to survive this. Here come the torpedoes off that T3 comm. Do not try to get out of the pond, Trith, because the Percys will stop you. This is the Percy pond. You cannot leave the Percy pond. This ACU is the check, and the Percys are the mate. If you leave, you will die. What he can use is these strats, though. If he has the strats and particularly the gunships. How is that GC doing? Well, the GC died. Let's swap back. This is where it's all going to be decided here. The strats can take out these. He doesn't need to die here. Trith can get out. Trith can get out of this. He's going to pick up his ACU in the transport. He's going to escape here. No, he doesn't. The wheelie control Ks. He's going to kill him with the control K of the transport. What an absolute baller.
If I go down, I'm taking you with me.
Suicides, and Sid is the only surviving ACU with a naked comm here in the corner. Great play by these two there. That was a real jewel down there. I loved that. Brings the ACU in, brings the Percys in, can't get out the pond, so brings the strats in. I feel like staying in the pond and just using the torps and the gunships would have been better than trying to airlift out, but I can see why he was desperate to leave. You can't leave the Percy pond. I'm going to have to make a Percy pond thumbnail for this video. Trith was a happy sim, enjoying the pool, when in came the wheelie and deleted the ladder. What an absolute monster. Let's take a look at our scores. Let's have a look. Trith, I mean, is there any question who was MVP in that game? Clawing a absolutely high pressure 5v1 back into a 2v1 and forcing a draw at the end there. Forcing a checkmate and a draw because it really felt like he was clawing that game back. I think he had the macro game won. Just not quite enough defense on that pivotal comm. You can't lose your king. Who is going to get the Derp award? Is there really any question about that? Purple, Insidious Noob, control K-ing his base. Imagine if Trith was upper base, he would have won that game. All his teammates basically control K'd, thinking it was cursed and lost, and he still would have won. But without this doorknob here, this absolute doorknob, he probably would have won. I feel like Trith could have won that with the extra base. So think on your sins, Insidious Noob. Think on your sins. That's going to be all for today. I will leave you with Keyboard Cat. Have a great week. Enjoy yourself, and I'll see you next time.